I'm Andi the Knittress, and this is my little corner of the internet where I like to share all things related to yarn, knitting, crocheting, spinning, basically fiber. You can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as Andi the Knittress, and today is February the 18th. It's Tuesday, and it's my 1-year anniversary from filming podcasts. I did not think that I would do this for a full year. I mean, I had ideas that maybe, but I didn't know if I would commit to it. And I really have enjoyed it. I like just sharing my projects and being able to chit chat with those of you who leave comments and stuff, and I really enjoy it. So let me just jump right in, and I have quite a few finished objects today because bulky yarn, you get to finish projects super fast. I knit 3 sweaters in 3 weeks, and then I finished a 4th that I have had on the needles for a while. But going from bulky yarn to then fingering weight or anything smaller than bulky yarn project, it makes those projects seem so slow. So this is a sweater that I made, and it's super comfortable. I made it to be just like a lounge around the house type sweatshirt feel sweater, and I absolutely love it. It is made with Cascade Yarns Kanai. It's a 50% alpaca, 5% wool, 45% acrylic. It's really weird how they would do 50, then 5, then 45. Most of the time they go in numerical order. I don't know. Anyway, I love this color. It's a really good color for me. Let me stand up and show you. Slide my chair back. It's just, down past my hips. I've got like a balloon sleeve going on. I was unsure about doing this sleeve because as a bigger lady, I tend to not like to add volume to myself. But I really love the way this sleeve turned out, and it was super easy because I just knit straight down in a tube and then decreased by half and then did some ribbing for the sleeves, and I really like it. There's no pattern for this sweater. I used the book Ann Budd's Top Down Sweaters as a general guide for cast on, but I got like 2.5 stitches per inch in my gauge, and her book doesn't have instructions for that, so I kind of just took that math and figured out how big I wanted my collar, did like 12 inches for the arm depth, and then just knitting around down until I ran out of yarn. I'm super happy with this sweater. So that is one finished object, and I also made, out of the same yarn, different color, a different sweater. You know what? I'm gonna try these on and show it to you because they fit differently, and let's go ahead and just do that. So this is the same idea, but I knit it on smaller needles, so it's very dense. And I did a little bit of ribbing underneath the bust to help with some shaping. And let me slide my chair out of the way so you can see how it fits. And I really like the way this worked out. It's very dense sweater. It's very heavy. Same amount of yarn in both sweaters. So funny how gauge works. The other sweater is about 2 or maybe 3 inches longer than this sweater falls, but I really am happy with this. It would be a really great sweater for me to wear to the coast because it's so dense the wind doesn't go through it. So that's sweater number 2, and it's the same yarn. It's Cascade Kanai. And then we'll go with sweater number 3. I'll put that one on for you guys. It's actually a sweater dress, and I love this. I did a lot more math for this one to figure it out because I wanted to get some shaping in there, and slide the chair out of the way so you guys can see this. So I did some shaping. I started the base at however wide my hips was, so it comes straight up, and then I tapered in, and then I went out, did some short rows for the bust, did a little bit of a color work here and across the back, joined with a 3-needle bind off at the sleeves, cast on and did a little ribbing. There's no pattern for this one either. I just took my gauge and my measurements and I made this dress, and I really, really love it. I got so many compliments when I wore this dress to work. So that is sweater number 3. So sweater number 3, it's a sweater dress, but I really like it. And I guess I might as well just try on the last one and show you my 4th finished object, which is a cardigan by Ottercraftknits on Ravelry. It's already buttoned up, so I just toss it on over. It's not 100% done because I have to do the pockets, but I love these buttons that I found. They match really well, and I love this design that she did. You can see all these details. It's not actually cabling, it's just yarn overs and center double decreases at, timed well, and it trails down from the raglan slowly towards the front. This is where my pockets will go when I do those, and I really love this pocket placement. This is going to be so perfect for, strolling around on a chilly day, have my hands in my pocket. And I love the button band and the stitch that she has for all the edgings. The thing I love about this is there was no pick up your button band and do it afterwards. You start with the neckband and you knit that away, and then you pick up stitches in a certain manner, and it's knit all at the same time as the whole cardigan. It was a little tricky juggling so many balls of yarn when it came to, the pocket spot and the buttonholes, but it really wasn't unmanageable. I love the way this turned out. I'm so happy to have this done. And this is called the Hearth, and it is by Ottercraftknits. I don't know if she's released this yet. This was a test knit that I did for her. I didn't get it done in time because we moved, but I'm so happy to have it done now, and I really do like this. I knit this in Lion Brand jeans and top stitch colorway. I love this color. This color is a really good color for my complexion. I get so many compliments on it, and I'm debating what to do for the inside of the pockets. The instructions for the pattern have, pocket instructions, but because it's a worsted weight yarn, I think that it might be a little bulky to have a double paneled pocket on the inside. So I'm contemplating doing just a single panel and then stitching it down on, pick up stitches here, knit a flap, and then stitch it down on the front side. Or I may do sewn pockets. I've seen somebody had mentioned to me about doing sewn pockets, so I did buy some material to put inside and make pockets out of that, but I don't know. I'm still undecided. Let me know down below if you have any experience with sewing pockets to knitting, or what your pocket ideas might be for this. So those are my finished objects, and I have a couple of projects that I'm working on. Yeah, I have quite a few. I have like, well, you can't see them, but over on that wall I have a whole ton of projects. Like, they're mostly socks or like little things, but for the first time in a while I hadn't really had a sweater on my needles, so I've got 2 sweaters in the works. Well, one's not quite in the works yet. This one, may have shown this a while ago. It is the Harley pullover. It is a Knit Picks pattern. So it's got a lot of cable detail in the raglan and on the neckband, and I'm gonna do a kangaroo pouch for the front of this, and I'm doing this in Classic Elite Juma. You get like a ton of yardage in this. This is a DK weight, and I am working on it, and I am still doing the neckband, but I really, 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 really like this cable detail. So it'll be in this way, and then there'll be a drawstring run through this tube here. This will be the neckband, and this is for my husband. So in the sweater there is some shaping, which I will just omit, and then I'm gonna do a kangaroo pouch for it, which I'll figure that out when I get there. I'm pretty good at like knitting on the fly, making stuff up as I go, which is, I guess, comes with years of knitting. You kind of tend to pick stuff up like that. So that's a sweater on the needles, technically. I gotta knit this, I think, to like 12 inches, and then I'll do the drawstring holes and then 12 more, and then I can join it in the round, and I'll pick up all the stitches for the raglan. So it really doesn't feel like a sweater on the needles for me because I'm not knitting in the round yet. But it was for my husband, and he keeps asking me when I'm gonna get that done. So that's on the needles. I am going to make another bulky weight sweater for my husband out of the Cascade Kanai, because I got a ton of it at my work, and I'm gonna make a sweater for him. So I have these 2 colors that I'm going to be working with, and I don't know if we hadn't decided if he said something about maybe a sweater vest. He's really tall and he has really long arms, and I don't know if I have quite enough yarn to make him a long sleeve sweater. So we'll see. But we kind of tossed the idea around of doing a sweater vest with a kangaroo pouch pocket, which I can't say that I've ever seen one. So it'll be interesting. And I think that because I have 4 of the brown and white and 3 of the black and white, we might do stripes. But I don't know how that's gonna look with a kangaroo pouch. I don't know. I'm gonna make it up as I go, and I'll show you guys when I'm done. But I really did like knitting bulky sweaters. It made me feel accomplished. I kind of felt like I lost my mojo there a little bit, and then I knit 3 sweaters in 3 weeks, and the bulky yarn really helped me be able to like feel, yeah, I'm getting stuff done. And then it gave me the oomph I needed to finish this. This was sitting, waiting for me to finish. I was already at the bottom of the pocket, so I only had like 6 inches to knit, and it just sat on my needles all of January. It just sat on my needles because I don't know, I kind of lost my mojo, but bulky yarn brought it back. So that's my future suggestion for anybody who's like, how do you get your mojo back? Knit something in bulky yarn. It'll help because you feel accomplished because you get so much done in so little time. And the other thing that I'm working on, I'm absolutely in love with. Chevyrell, Chevis of Chevyrell podcast, Chevyrell Stuff, knit a Lost in Time shawl with her minis that she exchanged with Rebecca from Mean Girl Knits. And I fell in love with her version of that shawl. Now I see this shawl all the time because we have one knit up at my work, and it's just in a gradient and it's really pretty, but it never caught my eye until I saw Chevy's version, because when you see all of the detail in this shawl change colors so quickly, like the gradient, you know, you get the popcorn and it comes down, and here, let me just show you what I'm talking about. And the one at work is just a gradient, so it kind of looked boring to me almost. But this, with all these colors and the minis and the color changes, I'm in love with it. So I got a set of samples from work. I got the Madeline Tosh sock, a ton of samples, and I put them all in a magic ball, which I was leery about making a magic ball because you don't put knots in yarn and then it stay there. Like, that's not a thing we do. We're supposed to weave in all of our ends. But I'm not a crocheter, and I don't know, well, I mean, I can crochet, but I don't generally crochet, and I don't know how to weave in all the ends in crochet. I usually kind of just fudge it when I'm sewing in my ends, and this would have been a lot of ends to weave in. I think I have over 100 different colors in here. No, not 100. There's no way. I don't know. They're all listed. They're all listed on my Ravelry project page for this. If somebody wants to go count them, they can. I think there's about 10 yards per color, and I have 950 yards. So that's what, like 95 different colors. Ooh, look, I just mathed. So yeah, so I made a magic ball, and let's see, where's my next color so I can show you guys. There's a ton of videos out there on how to make the magic ball, and really it's very easy. Can you see right there's my little knot join? And it doesn't come apart. So you take the yarns and you overlap them and you tie this string around the other string to itself, and then the same thing on the other side, and then you pull it tight and they go together. You know those bracelets you get, or used to get when I was younger, and they're like generally made out of leather and they have a knot on each side, and you can slide them bigger to get them on your hand, and then you spread it out to adjust it. It's basically that. It's like a slide bracelet knot is what it reminds me of. And then you just trim the end really close and you have a magic ball. So I spent all of an evening making this ball, and what I love about this is as you go, like, there's so many colors in here that you guys can't even see because they're all wrapped around each other. So right now you see lots of reds and browns, and you know, underneath there's some yellows, and you know, then I'll get to some green, and there's the blues and teals, and it's just really exciting to crochet this and go. And I love this texture. Like, this is gonna be so pretty when it's done. And I'm learning at crochet. I know how to do single crochet, double crochet, etc. But then there's a few techniques in this. I do believe this is a free pattern. There's a few techniques in this, you know, that you learn. There's a popcorn stitch right here, and then you have this like pretty fan and feather that's going on. Well, I totally did this wrong on this row. You're supposed to, you know, like go through the back post on one row and front post on another row, and I totally put my needle in the wrong spot, and then I figured it out down here. So it's a little more textured up here. It lays a little flatter down there. And then I realized that here, when I did this popcorn stitch, I missed the loop that I was supposed to go over. Figured it out how to do it down here. So I'm just learning as I go with this. And the thing about crochet that I don't like is if you realized you made a mistake down here, you can't drop down and fix it. Like in knitting, I'd drop down and I'd fix that, but I am not ripping back all the way to there, because this section took me a whole day. Took me a whole day to do. But I love how it's going, you know, from these colors into these navies and then the purples and some lighter colors and back into purples and magentas and oranges and then browns. Like I'm gonna love this so much. I never would have thought twice about knitting this pattern if Chevy didn't show it. And I'm so glad she did hers with her minis, because it's like the perfect thing for minis. I love it. Now my color changes are a little more rapid the more I go. You know, like I've got 2 different oranges in the same row, but I really like it. And that's all I'm pretty much working on more or less right now. I have a few other projects, but when they get my attention, then I'll show them to you guys. But in the meantime, happy 1-year anniversary to me. I think that if I can get to 100 subscribers, I'm gonna do a giveaway, because it's been about a year since I've done a giveaway, because I did a giveaway like my 2nd month in, I think. So yeah, we'll see what happens. All of you guys, thank you for stopping by. If you're new, thanks for checking me out. If you want to like and subscribe, it's not gonna hurt my feelings any. And I'm just gonna enjoy the rest of this day, and you all take it 1 stitch at a time.